Welcome to another episode. Married 39 years, retired, 3 kids, 7 grandkids, and a perfectly good life on land. We're trading our comfortable routine for an adventure while we're still young enough to climb a mast and old enough to know better. This is your Captain Tiny. And I'm your first mate, Bubbles. And this is our saga aboard Tiny Bubbles. Follow the journey with all its triumphs, laughs, and life's lessons, and be inspired to dream about your adventure. Previously, we crossed the Mona Passage from Puerto Rico to Dominican Republic, and while underway, we were pulled over by the U.S. Coast Guard.
Is that federally documented?
What's that?
Is it federally documented?
The boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got all that on board?
I do. You want the Coast Guard number?
Oh yeah, that number?
Yeah.
Wait.
Apparently, our AIS wasn't transmitting, and they wanted to know why. Our first clue that our AIS was not working was by the Coast Guard. They came up along beside us, wanted to know where we'd been, where we were going, how long we planned to stay, which is common questions that you are asked when you arrive at a new country or you're leaving a place. But he wanted to know why we weren't allowing our AIS to give a signal. And so as we're yelling across, no megaphone, not over the radio, just yelling back and forth across to the Coast Guard boat, Dale looks at all the settings on our Ray Marine, and it looks like we have AIS turned on in every way that we can see. So it's not okay to be bobbing around out in the ocean and not have other boats be able to see you. We did it the other night, but we're feeling like we need to make our best attempt to get that squared away and fixed, because from here, everywhere we're going, there will be a lot of boat traffic, and not just cruising boats, cargo ships, cruise ships, all kinds of boats out there that need to be able to see us so that we can avoid each other. And so Dale's going to work on that. We're, like you said, worst case scenario, we'll get to Georgetown and get it figured out there, but I'm really hoping we don't have to go all the way to Florida without that. Florida in particular should be very trafficky. So, yep, let's hope we get that figured out so we can be a safe vessel, easily seen out on the water. We are leaving the Dominican Republic on our way to West Turks. Our journey to Turks and Caicos would be approximately 236 miles with 2 overnight passages. We left the Dominican Republic in calm seas, but it had rained several days prior. Once we got out into the bay, the seas were rougher, and we had to navigate a lot of debris coming from the Una River, which spills into the Samaná Bay. The Una River is the second longest in the Dominican Republic, originating from the mountain range through the fertile agricultural areas. We were on watch for coconuts, palm fronds, branches, and large logs that had washed down into the bay. Once we got out of the bay, we no longer had to dodge debris, but the sea state continued to be very rough. We decided to do 4-hour watches through the night. Dale would take 6 to 10 p.m. I would take 10 to 2 a.m. Dale the third watch from 2 to 6 a.m. And finally, I would do 6 to 10 a.m. It is 9:45. I have the 10 to 2 watch on our passage to Turks and Caicos. Overnight passage. It's legitimately the first one that Dale and I have done as a crew of 2. It is so dark looking out towards the water. It must be super cloudy. I don't see any stars. But literally, it's dark, inky blackness in front of me. It's kind of unnerving, really. Luckily, I have a chart to follow that gives me indication if there's any boats out there, if they have an AIS on them. Heaven forbid there's a little fishing boat or something out there. I doubt there would be in such darkness, but yeah, so I'm up at the helm. The sails are up. The winds are abeam at about 15 knots. So as long as no storm comes up, then everything's probably good just to be like it is through the night. And now I am on the 6 to 10 a.m. watch, my 4 hours. We did all right through the night. We'll have to manage sleep also during the day because we're going to have to do it again one more night every 4 hours. But yeah, I think we can do it. We're traveling 6.2 knots and the engines are completely off now. So we're making our way. So we are altering our plan a little bit. We went through the night last night. We have one more night to go through, but we were going to arrive too early to the West Caicos area where we imagined anchoring for 24 hours or so. But instead, we are just going to continue on to the Bahamas. Rather than anchoring at night, we decided to continue another 134 miles to Mayaguana and arrive during the day. Mayaguana is where we're going. The winds are going to pick up to 25 knots, so we are getting ready to drop the mainsail just in preparation for that. Last night was such a dark night that I felt a bit anxious during my first watch. It was a little trafficy, but we could at least see land last night, and I don't think we're going to see land. The winds are going to be stronger. I'd rather just have that sail down and not have to deal with it through the night. And we will fly the Genoa if we need to, or run the engines if we need to. So Dale's working on fixing the route. Trying to stay flexible, trying to keep talking to each other and figure things out so we both feel comfortable with what's going on. Because we've actively been at sea for a while, so we don't want fatigue and maybe a little uncertainty to cause us to make bad decisions or communicate poorly. So we're making some decisions early and I feel good about it. It's night 2 in a row out on the water. Dale had to take my watch an hour early because at 1 o'clock I just could not stay open another hour. But I got up an hour early for him, so I set my alarm for 5 and got up to relieve him instead of 6. So he's gone down to go to bed. Wow, we've had some 25 plus knot winds. The sea has been extremely rolly and rough, and it's been very dark. And I think we've wondered at times if we've bitten off more than we can chew. But we're praying people, and we just pray, and we use our common sense, and we've planned this route I think we're on plan C. Because the sea state was so rough and we were so tired, we decided to shorten plan B by 75 miles and go to Little Inagua for this trip. And I think it's a good one. Luckily, plan C ends in 4 to 5 hours, so Lord willing, all goes well the rest of the time. Hopefully there's a good anchorage when we get there, because we're going to anchor up, have a cup of coffee, and sleep and eat and sit and really think hard about our next place. It doesn't exactly look favorable for us to make it to the flotilla, to the meetup with our Bluewater Cruising people. So as much as I want to do that, after this last 2 days, I don't want to do it so much that we have to do this for another 2-day trip. So we're going to have to plan all that out, figure it out. It's been good and hard, but we're okay, and we're almost there. We are 2 hours from our destination. Tired, really tired. We made it to Little Inagua and anchored up on the lee side of the uninhabited island. We took several naps during the day and enjoyed a very beautiful sunset that evening. It's a very deserted place. The only people here. I actually kind of dreamed about this when we talked about sailing, like occasionally being where no one is, where the only sounds you hear are the sounds you're creating, or the rain on the water, or the crashing of the waves on the little island that we're parked next to. We've had to stay here because our sail here was rough and honestly a little bit scary. We're green, so we don't know the capabilities of the boat completely, but it was 2 nights in a row of dark skies and rolly high seas in short periods. And a lot of praying. Like I was doing a lot of praying. I felt scared. I felt nervous. So when we got to this island where we could duck around the corner and get out of the sea and the wind, we did it. And we've been here. We've been here waiting for a better weather window to go to Georgetown.
And a bunch.
What you doing?
The quarantine flag.
Q flag, the yellow flag, the quarantine flag.
Stay away, stay away. Warning, warning. Unclean, unclean.
Technically, until we've officially checked it to the Bahamas, we are to fly this flag and not get off the boat. Which, since we've been in the Bahamas, we have not gotten off the boat. There's a beautiful beach right over there. We should think about it. All right. Quarantine. Unclean. Unclean. At least we're unclean together. And then when we check in to the Bahamas, we take down that yellow flag and we fly the Bahamian flag. Some boats are rigged up with multiple flags, so that they can also fly their country's flag. I read today it's correct to fly the host country's flag higher and on the port side, and your country's flag on the starboard side a little bit lower. That shows honor to the country. If you fly your flag on top of the host flag on the same side, it means that you're at war with that country.
Kicking your ass.
Well, I don't want to start a war. I don't want to be part of a war. I ain't out here to fight. Just want to be a lover. Lover. That island right there. Nobody's here but us. We've been here for 3 days. It's hard to keep track of time. And we have to stay for 4 more days. There's nobody on that island. There's nothing on that island. It's a national park, he says. I'm going there tomorrow to get my butt off the boat because we've been bobbing around for a while. Last night we were up on the roof watching the stars. Glorious. So many stars. Then we came down below and I'm like, Dale, I think I see the stars reflecting in the water. No, it wasn't the stars. There were bioluminescent bubbles here and there and everywhere, just glowing in the water. It was like your eyes couldn't believe what you were seeing. But that's what it was. I've been determined to make sourdough bread aboard the boat, but first you have to make a good starter. After 4 not so quite right loaves, I almost felt like quitting. The recipe said 7 days to make the starter, and mine just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, and I kind of figured out maybe it's because it's so humid, not warm enough. It's very drafty on the boat, but I keep watching videos, and I think maybe I found the solution. This was my original starter. It's nice and bubbly like it ought to be. It wasn't for a long time. This is going on 3 weeks. I keep working on it. But it's looking good now. At one point I divided it and decided I was going to make a second starter. And this one is actually looking even better. So I should try to make bread with it. I'm kind of feeling gun shy about that because I don't have a Dutch oven. I don't have a proofing basket. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't made bread. That's the shitty bread. That did not come out well. We did good provisioning. We have plenty good food. We're eating too much food. I had meatloaf and potatoes and green beans for dinner. And I had a delicious Asian soup with shrimp for lunch. And sourdough pancakes for breakfast. Like, this is not a good way to lose weight.
Cleaner or solvent. And I'm just going to hit that just a bit and make sure we don't have any.
If we're not working on our boat, talking about sailing, we're watching about sailing. We have an illness. We've been on this boat for 6 days straight. Like on the boat.
Oh no.
There's land. There's land. We actually got the dinghy down. We were gonna go and put our little feet on actual land. It's only there. But it started raining. It's the first time we've been in rain like this on the boat. We do hear the rumbling of thunder. We do not have a Faraday bag for electronic devices, so we're putting them in the microwave. I guess it's the thing that people do. So we're still on the boat, digging out the chips and salsa. What else is there to do?
Sometimes I buy one or the other. They both can certainly work, but I wanted to show you both.
Okay, coming. It's time to make new peat moss filler. Last time we just left it out, and I saw the gnats flying around it, but didn't worry about it till we got it in the toilet and it was full of fly larvae. So I insisted that this one, while it's absorbing and making its peat moss, get put in a bag. No bugs allowed.
So did you tell them about the sharks?
No, I didn't tell them about the sharks. That was exciting.
That almost bit your butt?
Tell them.
So Tammy's opposed to our bathrooms, and the other day I was actually relieving myself off the back of the boat, and this shark, probably just a lemon shark, maybe about 6-7 foot long.
It was a big one.
Just kind of rolled by, kind of surprised me, and I'm yelling at her.
Don't stick your toes in the water right now.
And so we watched them for a while, and they just kind of hung out at the back end of the boat. I got some video by just sticking the camera on the pole down and watching them. And
Yeah, you actually got some really good video.
And then so later that night, Tammy's she's wanting to go to the bathroom, but now it's dark.
Yeah.
I mean dark. There's like no moon. And so she's hanging her beautiful little bottom off the end, trying to pee off the back. And, you know, she's got this problem, worried about the sharks going to come up.
Yeah.
Bite her.
I could just send some, like, licking their chops. Come take a nice hunk out on my backside. We do finally have a neighbor out there. This is the second time that neighbor has joined us. We think it's a military boat of some sort. I mean, we don't have our radios on. We probably should, in case they want to chit-chat, be neighborly, bring us some rum or something. I do need to probably mention something kind of serious, though. We don't have a generator. We have something called integrals, which generate power from the running of the engines.
It's actually called an on-engine generator.
On-engine generator.
The brand is Integral.
Okay, the brand is Integral. And one of them has quit working, but there are two of them.
Actually, the generator itself functions fine. They are the power that comes off them goes through a controller that does a bunch of different things to the power, but then before it allows the power to go to one of our Victron systems that allows it to actually charge the batteries, there's a controller, one of our controllers, the board fried on itself, so it's not functioning. So the generator itself works, but we can't get power out of it to the batteries.
So one of them isn't working. The other one appeared to be having an ongoing firmware update that was never updating. And so when we would turn on the engine to generate power, because we've had a lot of cloudy days and we are running low on power, we could not generate power with it. And this morning I felt worried. I mean, I journaled about it, that if without power, we can't make water, we can't heat up our food. So, you know, for all the wonderful things about the system, if you lose the generators off the engine, you're in trouble.
Well, the nice thing is we still have solar, and we do have two big battery banks, but both of the battery banks were getting low.
And our water was getting low.
Our water was getting low. We had enough water to, if we conserved, we could get to where we're going in Georgetown.
Which is 4 days from now.
4 days from now. We're going to leave on Sunday morning, so it's, what is this?
Today is Friday.
Friday afternoon.
We have one more 24-hour period here.
And then we're going to leave, and it's a 36-hour sail overnight to get to Georgetown, where we can actually get some supplies and some basic things, like our computer uses a new MacBook, and it has C ports, USB-C. But for both the other two items that I need so that I can do an update, hardware or software update, they're USB-A and micro USB. So I don't have the cables to do that. You know, it's the little things.
Yeah. But in my worry, I'm a praying person. I just really said, Lord, I don't want to be stuck out here. I don't want to be worried about running low on water. That was my biggest concern. I can go without a shower, that's fine, but I was worried we were going to be without water. And then I started obsessing about all the other things. I have another UTI. Our supplies are running low. The coffers are getting low. And I'm not kidding. Canola oil, everybody needs that. A few things of yeast, because I wasn't convinced that I could get a starter to work. A bag of cornbread. I mean, I guess we have bread. Shelf-stable eggs. I have a few. Some garlic and an onion. I have flour and rice up here, and some sugar and baking supplies. I've almost used all the flour, 10 pounds of flour, trying to make a starter. We don't have power. Our AIS doesn't work. It just started feeling like we were in trouble. But I mean, my specific prayer was, Lord, give Dale answers to this question. And next thing I know, he's on the phone to someone in, I don't know, Great Britain or whoever you were talking to.
Great Britain. Actually, he's in Spain.
And he was troubleshooting with Dale and told him how to disconnect the one that was faulty that might be getting in the way of the other one updating. I don't know if that's actually how it worked out, but next thing I know, he's turning on the engine and giving me the thumbs up that we're making power. So we made power and water today. So we're in a much better situation than the way the day started. No, but I am at a deserted island for day 7 or something. Haven't gotten off the boat, feeling a little stir crazy. And the military boat isn't even coming to check on me? Oh my. Sunday, we're getting up bright and early, and we're gonna make a passage. It's the best window. We need to go about 38 hours. Most of it's going to be in the daylight. There'll be 1 overnight passage, which is way easier than 2. You know, I'm held in the palm of my Creator's hands, who created the heavens and the earth and the seas. And somewhere because I had to hide from the awe-inspiring parts of the ocean, the winds, the darkness, the waves. And so we sit here quietly. Thank you, God, for reminding me that I'm a small part of your grand creation and that you have allowed me to witness it in a way that I haven't in a long time. So I just wanted to take a minute to remember how beautiful and precious this time has been, even though today I felt really worried. I felt worried. But we're good. Everything's good.
We're looking at this rainbow. Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful.
It goes all the way. Look, we can see it from
Wow! That is spectacular. Glorious. Thank you. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for all our answered prayers yesterday and giving us power and water and hopefully a weather window tomorrow. It's glorious. It's almost like I could reach out and touch it. We actually did it. We got off the boat, came onto land. Hopefully that storm doesn't chase us back in the next 15 minutes. We're on land, and it's beautiful. You can definitely tell where the water gets deep. Deeper. Sunday morning, and we are finally leaving Little Inagua after being there for except, well, this would have been the 8th day. It was a wonderful shelter in the storm. Bye, Little Inagua. Thank you for keeping us safe. Made it to Georgetown. It's time to check in to Customs and Immigration. Wait. They're closed. They're closed. After all of that. So now I guess we just have to go have a drink. Some food. They're closed.